Hey, my name is Alicia, and welcome to Greg's Facts. Today I tell you some overwhelming facts about the legendary pyramids of Giza. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu, was originally covered in a layer of fine white limestone that would have made the pyramid shine brightly in the sun and visible from great distances. The limestone was quarried in the nearby town of Tura and transported to the construction site on the Giza Plateau. The limestone was cut to fit each block precisely and then smoothed to create a smooth surface. This outer layer, known as the casing stone, covered the entire pyramid, including the corners and the top. The casing stones were so precisely cut and fitted together that the joints between them were less than 1 millimeter wide. This created a smooth surface that would have reflected the sun and made the pyramid shine brightly. However, over the centuries, the casing stones were removed for building materials. This process likely began in ancient times and continued throughout the Middle Ages and into modern times. The casing stones were used for buildings, temples, and even fortresses in Cairo. By the 16th century, most of the casing stones were gone, leaving the pyramid with its current rough surface. The pyramids of Giza were not built by slaves, as is a common misconception, but by a paid workforce of skilled Egyptian workers. Some estimates suggest that as many as 100,000 workers were employed in their construction. Many of these workers were farmers who worked on the pyramids during the flooding of the Nile River, when their farming duties were suspended. They were paid in food and provisions, and also received additional payments in the form of beer and bread. It is also important to note that the pyramids were not only built by common people, but also by skilled craftsmen, engineers and architects who were responsible for the design and construction of the pyramids. The building of the pyramids was a massive undertaking that required the coordination and cooperation of thousands of skilled workers, and it's a testament to the ingenuity and organization of the ancient Egyptians. There is a theory that the pyramids were not only tombs for pharaohs, but also served as a sort of ancient power plant, generating electricity through the use of the so-called Baghdad battery, which was discovered in 1938. This suggests that ancient Egyptians may have had a more advanced understanding of electricity than previously thought. The theory is based on the discovery of the so-called Baghdad battery, a clay jar dating back to around 250 BC that was discovered in 1938 in the village of Qut Rabuz, near Baghdad, Iraq. The jar contains a copper cylinder and an iron rod, and some researchers have suggested that this may have been used as an ancient battery. It has been proposed that the ancient Egyptians may have used similar technology, possibly in the form of copper and iron rods placed within the pyramid, to generate electricity. Some claims that this theory is supported by the fact that the pyramid's walls are covered with inscriptions that resemble electrical diagrams, and that the pyramid's internal structure contains copper fittings and a system of corridors that could have been used to conduct electricity. However, there is no evidence found to support this theory, and it remains speculative and unproven. The mainstream scientific and Egyptological communities do not consider this theory to be credible. They argue that the Baghdad battery is not a battery, but a galvanic cell, which was used for electroplating, medicine or metalworking, not for generating electricity. And the inscriptions found in the pyramid are believed to be religious texts, not electrical diagrams. But what about the theory that humans were not able to build this giant place of secrets? The idea that aliens built the pyramids is a theory that has been proposed by some individuals, but it is not supported by mainstream archaeology or Egyptology. This theory suggests that the ancient Egyptians were not capable of building the pyramids on their own, and that they must have had help from extraterrestrial beings. Proponents of this theory point to the precise alignment of the pyramids with the cardinal points, the large size and weight of the stones used in their construction, and the apparent lack of evidence for ramps or other tools used in their construction as evidence for their alien origin. However, mainstream scientists and Egyptologists reject this theory, citing a wealth of evidence that the pyramids were built by the ancient Egyptians using simple tools, ramps and pulleys, and a large workforce of skilled workers. Archaeological evidence such as the remains of ramps, workers' village, and inscriptions have been found that support the theory that the pyramids were built by human hands. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about these theories? And if you like this video, please leave a like or subscription on my channel. Over and out.